All right, welcome to another week of the Nando and Rome show. We're back. What's up, Rome?
What's up, Nando?
Not much, not much. Not. I mean, there was some talk, but we'll get into it. Slow week everywhere, kind of. There was an NBA All Star game that nobody cared about, which
Especially me.
we will not talk about. Um, there was some racing back. We'll get to that at the end because you got a bone to pick with someone or something. So
hmm
get to that little teaser. Let's start with the NFL. Uh, Not a lot of big news. It's kind of like the dead period. This was the first Sunday without football, and my God, was it boring? Kidding. I spent time with family. It was fun, but the only news this week was that Jimmy G is being suspended next year for 2 games because he took a substance. Uh, yeah, that's what it was, right? Something like that.
Yeah, it was it
Was
was
it
a
prescription
medication he
pills?
was
Oh, okay.
prescribed, and I guess it had something in it that wasn't legal.
Yeah, so he that gets announced. He's going to be suspended for 2 games next year, and then the report comes out like literally 10, 15 minutes after that. The Raiders are likely going to cut him, and I feel like the Raiders were looking for every excuse to cut him after they signed him.
hmm
Since last year, I think that was I feel like that was something nobody there wanted is except McDaniel's, and because even his contract, I think before the season even started, before training camp started last summer, there was a report that came out that said there was a clause that if he didn't make weight, they could cut him, or if or no, if he didn't pass a physical, they would cut him, which I thought was weird at the time.
Yeah, that's weird. Wait for a quarterback. Okay.
Well, I think it was just physical in general. So I don't know. Like, I think I think they put a bunch of clauses in his contract to hope that he would f up, and like they finally got it.
Yeah, they got their reason.
Well, I think I
That
don't, I don't know if it was fully. I think it's fully McDaniel's, obviously, and we know what that's like. But I think they were like, we need a quarterback. He's the best one we can get. Let's just sign him to this contract, but let's put a whole bunch of things just so like we can get out of it because they knew it wasn't going to last the whole contract, which I forget how many years it was.
uh, yeah, I'm not too sure.
It was. I can look it up. It's
I got it right there. 5 years.
yeah. They
He's
didn't
gonna
want to pay
go
the
sign a
full 5 years.
5 year, $137.5
Yeah,
million contract.
they were not trying to stick to that, so they got their wish. So
Yeah,
um,
74 million was guaranteed.
yeah, and you get that right up front. So, or even if
Yeah.
he gets cut. So, good. I guess good for him. Become the new Sam Bradford, maybe earn all that money.
Don't get me started on Sam Bradford.
I mean, he's a rich man. Anyway,
Biggest
great.
con man in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, he had a good agent. I don't know if he's the one conning. Maybe his agent, I think, is the one that does all that. Speaking of football, Eagles, no news. Uh, Hassan denied. We talked about this last week, but Hassan denied
Mm-hmm.
that he asked for a trade because I guess there was a report. He denied it, I think Friday or Thursday. It was after we recorded, because I think,
I believe it was Friday
yeah,
because
because
I
I
think
think,
I was driving into work or something like that, and I saw it
yeah,
came
because
out Friday.
I think there was an early report on Friday where somebody said he asked for it, and then he was like, "No, I didn't ask for a thing." He was like, "I want
Mm-hmm.
to stay here." Like, so I think, like I said last week, I think that was just the team playing leverage, and to basically show Hassan, hey, go ahead and try it on yourself and see what you get. If you get something, bring it back. But they don't think he's gonna get anything close to what he wants. So we'll see how that plays out. No Jason Kelsey news. Um,
Nope, just him partying it up in Seattle this past weekend.
was he?
I don't know if you could. Yeah,
Oh, we
I
missed out.
believe. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had to work, so of course I
Where was
missed
he
out.
at?
It was the polar bear plunge down in Seattle. So he was down there
Oh,
doing the run, and then I guess he was at. I'm pretty sure it was the OD. He was there
oh,
partying up with everyone.
oh, look at
Him
Jace.
and Kylie.
Seattle resident. Everybody knows that around here, though. So we're not revealing anything. Um, but that sucks. We were there a few weeks ago. He was not there. He was
Nope. We
busy.
peaked. We
He's
peaked.
he's busy. Actually, he was busy following his brother around. They played Baltimore the weekend we went. It was championship weekend. Um,
Yep.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, not a lot of the only other Eagles news was that Nick Sirianni took the new coaches that they announced so far. Um, Fangs, uh, Kellen Moore, and the QB coach. He took them all to Geno's. What a
Yeah,
tourist!
that's my spot. There we go.
What a tourist!
I that's my tourist spot.
Listen, I like Geno's like as much as the next tourist next to me, but I honestly know that there's better spots, but
Yeah,
I
there's
do
definitely
appreciate a
better
good
spots.
Geno's. Um,
I just can't think. There's a spot in the Reading Terminal Market. I can't think of the name of it right now. I think it starts with a C. It's escaping my mind right now.
get to it at some point. Well, as your hat says, if we're in the right hat. It's it's baseball season officially.
Yes,
Uh,
it is.
Pitchers and catchers reported last week. Most players reported yesterday or Sunday for most teams, and they started working out. I think today for most teams. Uh,
I think the Phillies started. Yeah. Oh, Monday. I think
yeah,
Monday was day
yesterday.
one because Sunday was um like their physicals and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
Monday
I think
is when they started.
everybody's on the same schedule. Just to let the cat out of the hat right now. When we talk baseball, I'm not a Phillies guy, so but I don't hate them, so I will talk about them um, as nicely as I can, unless they're playing my Yankees. But a lot of excitement for both of our teams going into the spring training. The Phillies signed a very good utility player um, in Whit Merrifield. That's
Yep,
pretty big. I mean, I think
it's pretty big. He was an All Star last year, so
he's a two-time All-Star
that's
actually
right. He is a
in his
two-time All Star.
career. He is also a
And
career 284 hitter, which is something that I still harp on. He is a pretty good hitter. He is 35. He is a utility guy though. He plays second base in the outfield. He is basically a
yeah,
utility guy.
yeah.
Uh,
So he could play all over the field. So that's a huge plus for us right now.
and he can hit. I think that's the biggest plus
Yes, he
about it.
can.
I think he's going to be a bench guy for most of the part. I think from what I heard, the Phillies are going to give Rojas the shot at center or to
Yeah,
rotate with Marsh.
yeah.
Uh,
When Marsh gets back, I think Marsh will be ready for opening day. I'm pretty sure, but yeah,
okay, yeah. There's still some free agents out there, especially pitching wise. The report came out that the Phillies supposedly offered more than the Dodgers for Yamamoto. I
yeah.
don't know how you feel about that, but I
I mean,
really
I wanted him, but I to what extent was it? They offered him 325 million,
Mhm.
which was above the Dodgers.
So
So they don't
I
really
think
know.
I think I'm gonna be honest in the way it looks now. I think that from the reports I've heard also because the Yankees did pursue him as well. So I got another, you know, viewpoint as well, more info. The Yankees did offer him money. I don't know the exact amount, but I think he was set on California. I think that at least from what I heard from Brian Cashman, the Yankees GM recently, is that he knew going into the meeting because they met with him in New York, but they also met with him in California, Malibu, where he was working out. And basically, when they went into the meeting, it was him, Aaron Boone, and the pitching coach. And they basically, right before the meeting, he said he told them, he's like, you see this? Because they were having lunch or something outdoors. And they were like, you see this? We're competing
Mm-hmm.
against this, not just like the team. So I think it was
Mm-hmm.
it was the weather, but also obviously West Coast is closer to Japan for travel purposes, and also Otani probably played a big part. So I'm not saying that either of our teams didn't have a shot, but I think he was leaning towards the Dodgers.
Uh, I don't think either of our teams had a shot.
Yeah.
Majority of the Asian players, they choose the West Coast just
Yeah, I
because it's
mean,
closer to Japan.
well, listen,
Well,
I always think that we had a shot, but only because, like, not unfortunately, but the way the Phillies history has come out, you guys have never really had a like
mm,
Japanese or foreign like Asian player like that you've pursued like that.
no.
Obviously, you had players that you ended up signing after they played in the league for a while, but like a free agent like that coming off of when he's allowed to be a free agent after leaving Japan, you guys have never pursued. So like I
Mm-mm.
actually thought the Yankees had a chance because they've done this before. Matsui, uh, I forget the pitcher right now, that Tanaka. So we've had players
Tanaka.
throughout like the years that we've convinced Japanese players. I think the Yankees were saving number 19 for him too because 19 is like a there's some meaning behind the number 19 when it comes to baseball in Japan. So they were saving the number
Mm-hmm.
19 for him to have. It's the number Tanaka wore as well. So it's like a prestigious thing. So yeah, I mean, but I still think he kind of had his mind made up. So either way,
Yeah,
doesn't matter. But yeah, speaking of money, how do you feel about the Bryce Harper thing?
I pay the man. No amount of spending, pay the man. I don't lock him down for the rest of his career. And if like say he can't play anymore, you can just put him into somewhere in the organization role.
Well, I mean, they don't have to put him in
I
the
mean,
organization and still have to pay him. It's all guaranteed.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, but I mean, if you
I
want to put
don't,
him to use,
I don't, so this is my view on it from the outside looking in. Actually, you already have him signed for his whole career. He's not going to play till he's 40 something.
well, yeah, obviously, yeah, we have he's on year, just he's going to year 6 of his 13-year deal, or it's
Yeah.
year 5. He
It's
played
just
5. These guys going,
played
he's
five.
going to
He's got 8 left. I think, yeah,
yeah.
I'm doing the math right. One, two. Yeah. He's got 8 left.
But I mean, but this is also scumbag Boris trying to money grab
Well,
too.
there's
I think.
that there too. But this is what it is. I think that from the outside looking in, obviously I do live in the area, so I do see all the Philly stuff. But from the outside looking in, I thought at the time it was a good contract because of the name. It is Bryce Harper, and I will say, as someone who wasn't like, I didn't think he sucked, obviously, but I didn't buy the hype at least when he was with the Nationals and everything. But from my perspective, I think he's lived up to his contract so far. And obviously, this is just part of the market. The only problem is that you already signed one, and that's the issue. But
Mm-hmm.
he's, I don't know, he's kind of outplayed the contract, and I mean, I'm talking about
He's
playing wise,
way outplayed the contract.
uh, and he got an MVP, so he's outplayed the contract in what 5 years now, and I think this is also Boris seeing like, look, this guy just won MVP 2 years ago now. Uh, we still got time. Can you add a little bit more money? And all you got to do is like, I mean, it sounds easy. We're not the ones doing the deal, but I think all they're saying is like add 2 more years and then like basically you could add that money to the end possibly, you know what I mean? Or something like that. But I don't see a problem with it. I mean, I think he's outplayed the contract, not just on the field with the stats, but also like, I think even though I make fun of him for it, I think he's really like embraced the whole city and everything. I think
Mm-hmm.
sometimes too much. I make fun of it in our group text with all our friends about it because I think he's still playing up with the cleats and doing the dumb shit, like which I find a little bit too much. But it is what
I
it
love it.
is.
I
I
love
know
it.
you do.
I think he's legit with it. You might think he's playing it up. I think he's.
Well, not now. I still find it cheesy because you like if he does it again this year, like because he's gonna do it. But like it's your 5th year, we know you're all about it. Like we get it. Like all right, but I get it. It strokes. I'm a Philly fan for every other team except the baseball team, but I get it. It strokes the ego of this city, and as much of a fan that I am of all the other teams, it does like I do look around at my peers, and sometimes I'm disgusted. And I think I've told you this before, but I'll say it out loud. It's like I'm annoyed, or sometimes I don't want to be part of it, but I'm stuck here, and I get it.
Hmm.
But I'm not trying to leave. But I also understand that there's people who get sucked in, and you do this sometimes. And I think the people will know as we get to talking and things happen, and hopefully it'll come out on the show for people to understand you. Exactly. Um,
Uh,
Speaking, I'll throw it in.
it's my pleasure to trap you guys in that group chat. It's my pleasure. You
Yeah,
guys
you're
can't
a
escape,
little troll.
and you
Uh,
have to sit there and take it.
so, by the way, a random correction. I was wrong myself, but Wit is a 3-time All Star, not two.
Three times. Okay.
3-time All Star. Yeah. So, and he got two of those with the Royals, and that's hard to do. So get noticed. But anyway, I'll bring this in, even though I mean we're just talking sports, so let's talk about it. Uh, I'm excited for my team. There is, there's some pitchers out there, and recently this is another Boris client. Blake Snell is still out there.
Hmm.
Jordan Montgomery's still out there. I think he's a Boris client too.
Yeah,
I
they're both. I believe both of them are.
I like Monty. Monty used to be a Yankee, then we traded him away, and then that's when he had like the resurgence. Like 2 years
Hmm.
after we traded him away, we traded him away to the Cardinals, and then he ended up with the Rangers for the run, and he had a good postseason. That's why he's in getting entitled to ask for more. That's why Boris is pushing for more because of what he did in the postseason. Um, for the money, I don't want him. I don't think the Yankees are trying because I think they've had the relationship and I think they checked in. And I think Monty said, I don't want to go back, I guess. I don't know if there's bad blood or he just didn't like it, like in general, just being in New York.
Hmm.
But anyway, the rumors the last 2 days is that Blake Snell, there's an offer that the Yankees threw at him recently, aside from the one they threw at him before. And this is the only team that has been reported to have offered something, um,
Hmm.
to the point where one of the report on Monday, I think it was, or Sunday, was that the Yankees have a short term deal in, like that they want to give him so that he can be a free agent again.
Yeah.
Um, but then it caught heat again. I think it was Sunday, and then it went to Monday. It caught heat again. I mean, some of my Yankee friends are saying that watch out because Judge and Snell are friends, so he could opt in for the shorter deal. And honestly, the Yankees have been, I think, the only reported team that I know of that has made him an offer because I feel like he would have signed somewhere. And
Yeah.
that might be a money issue too, because supposedly the first offer the Yankees had on him, he turned it down because he wanted more because Boris. But
Hmm.
we'll see what happens because pitchers and catchers have reported these guys got to get in soon so they could start throwing and
Yeah.
getting ready.
Yeah.
Um,
Their numbers just going to go down if they don't take something here soon.
well, they're gonna have to sacrifice, but Boris is gonna fight till the end.
Oh no.
Speaking of fighting till the end, we're gonna switch up. Um, our last topic of the night, and last night, yeah, yesterday afternoon, not last night. It finished that night. Um, we had racing back. We'll talk some racing here, but because football's done and there was not a lot going on with everything
Yeah, there's
else.
not going on. Yeah.
Um, NASCAR was back yesterday. The Cup Series was back. It was delayed on Sunday. Xfinity got delayed twice. They got delayed Saturday, then they got delayed from they were supposed to race Monday morning, got delayed
Hmm.
until after the 500, but the Daytona 500 was yesterday. Me and Roman big fans of it. I'm actually excited racing. Knock on wood, there might be something I might do aside from this. That's just the racing because everybody's getting back soon. Formula One starts in next weekend, so I'm excited because my Sundays are going to be full of just
Mm-hmm.
racing. So 500 was back, always exciting. I've actually attended. Um, Fun race. Uh, you know, the biggest besides I guess the final race. Um,
Yeah.
or the Coca-Cola 600. I guess you could say. Um, or the Brickyard, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it was a smooth race all the way through, as a lot of times it is.
Yep.
A lot of everybody was filling each other out. This is the first race. These the cars have new like bodies. Ford
Yeah,
switched up a
they're
little
a little
bit.
bit different. Yeah.
Ford and Toyota for sure switched up a little bit of like their front. So not to get all technical with it, but yeah, there were some new drivers and new seats. Some rookies taking over some spots. Kevin Harvick is done, so we had Joe Joe Barry or Josh Barry, I think it was, in the 4 car. I think it's Josh.
Yeah.
Um, anyway, going into it, everybody's favorite Joey Logano was on the pole. And I say that very sarcastically. Won't get into that. Roman's favorite
Mm.
driver, Denny Hamlin, was one of the favorites. He was up front most of the
Drive for
race.
four. It was drive for four that didn't happen.
Well, honestly, I used to mess with you about Denny because I actually had a driver. My driver retired a long time ago, and I haven't really found stuck with one. So I'm just cheering for all the Toyotas, which means I'm part of your team now, aka
Mm-hmm.
Joe Gibbs Racing. Um, so I think your whole push for Denny should be, let's get a championship. Forget
Yep.
winning a fourth Daytona. Uh, you know, Denny's a really good driver. Kyle Busch won while he was at Gibbs, and Denny hasn't. Uh,
Yeah.
so I think that's the push, and I think if you watch the Netflix series, which we both enjoyed,
Mm-hmm.
Denny was pushing for that. I think he knows he's getting older. What is
Yeah.
he, 42 now? Something like that.
Yeah, he's definitely in his 40s.
Yeah,
Let's
I
see
got it.
here.
I can look it up, but yeah, he's 43. So
43. Okay.
yeah, I think he's getting not the itch because it's not the itch because I think he also knows that he did start a team 3 years ago. This will
Yep.
be the
23-11.
this will be the fourth season, and as you see I'm going to keep referencing the show, which was really good. He says in the show he was aiming for 5 years for this to be a contending team. So I think
Mm-hmm.
he's getting close to just being an owner. Maybe I think he just wants to
Yeah.
scratch that itch. And I don't he's won plenty. This isn't he just needs to win the whole thing. Um the highest he finished was second in 2010. So, I think that should be your push as a Denny fan. to
Oh,
get
it's always my push. I mean, I think this year is going to be a lot better year for him because now he doesn't have to deal with that shoulder injury that he thought he could race with last year, but that clearly hindered him.
We'll see. I mean, he was in the race for until the big one because unfortunately there's always a big one.
And
Uh
and what did I say to you right before the big one? What did I say?
well, I said it too. I sent you a text. I was like, it's
I
getting
said
tense
I
out
didn't
here.
like, yeah, and I didn't like where he was sitting
Well,
at
yeah.
that point in time.
That's
I
why
knew it was
when
coming.
well, during stage two, when you said he's ahead too early or before the pits, I think it was
Mm-hmm.
before the pit stops or during the third stage, you said, I don't like that he's up front this early. I said, that's where you wanted to go because I thought it was going to happen then, like the big one,
Yeah.
because I felt like they started to get a little aggressive. At least he was getting a little aggressive. So, like, yeah, I mean, it was a finish and it happened. There was obviously two crashes at the end, the big one, and there was like a mini one right at the end, which kind of gave us a controversial ending, which Roman has his 2 cents to hit us with. What do you got?
That is the you should never end a race on a caution. I don't care if the white flag was out and it occurred right after the line. You do not. That you just robbed all the freaking fans of an amazing finish, which is the Daytona 500, which happens every year. There's an amazing finish. And of course, because NASCAR has this stupid rule that they cross the freaking white line and then wreck, you could finish the race on a yellow flag, which is the most asinine thing I've ever seen. It's like finishing the Super Bowl with a tie, and then you do a freaking coin toss to see who wins the Super Bowl.
That's right.
It's it's so
It's annoying. You're
they
annoying.
need to fix it. Oh, it's dude, I was highly annoyed.
They do. It was anticlimactic. Like literally, I remember I was like confused because I'd never like actually witnessed that part. And then all you hear is the radio talk from Byron's team.
Yeah.
And it's like, them getting told like they won. And I was like, well, this is very anticlimactic. Like, I don't, what I mean, you could have done a green, white, checkered real quick. I mean, the Toyotas were creeping up. The only two Toyotas left, basically, Christopher Bell and Bubba, were creeping up, and that happened. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm tired of Hendricks. Tired of him.
I hate, like, you know what?
The whole team.
I don't think their drivers, I don't think they're good at all. The only thing, you could stick a monkey in a Hendricks car and it will win races.
All right.
You could stick it, dude. You could put me in a freaking Hendricks car and I'm going to win a bunch of races. I'll probably win a championship more than you stick me in a Hendricks car. It's all about the car. They know how to build cars. They don't have drivers. Maybe
Tells you really
Jeff Gordon. Maybe Jeff Gordon was actually,
like Jimmy?
Yeah, he was a good driver.
You don't like Jimmy?
Well, how well did he do without being in a Hendricks car during the Daytona 500 yesterday?
He was in a Toyota.
I don't even know what day it is. Monday.
He was in a Toyota. First time ever.
Yeah, and where he finished way in the back.
Well, he crashed. He ended up crashing in the big
and he was already back there.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I guess. But
I mean, no, I can't stand Hendrick Motorsport.
Yeah.
And one other person, you won't let me bring him up.
Well, you can bring him up. I just don't want you to go all crazy.
I'm not gonna go crazy.
Nobody's a big fan of Joey Logano, but I think everybody knows that because I think not a lot of fans in the infield are fans of Joey Logano.
Nobody likes Joey Logano.
Well, there you go. I just didn't want you to go on a rant. That's all. Where we can.
I mean, one of my, you know what? Now that I look back, one of my favorite moments happened at Dover Downs with Joey Logano.
Oh, well, there you go.
And you know what moment that was?
Yeah, I do. I do. Anyway, that's all I got for this week. Just point it out there to people. The Nando Rome Show. Right now we're working on where to put it audio wise. I'm creating something. I'm dealing with that, but you can watch us here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. It is on the 314 Media channel. Right now, that's the company's name, and there's other content there. So subscribe. That's very important. And obviously watch the video. We thank you guys for all the views so far. This is going to be episode 3. Episode 2 is going off the chain, grabbing numbers. Even Roman got some comments about his appearance, but we're gonna keep it.
Nice.
We're gonna keep it PG here, but but anyway, yeah. Thank you, but also subscribe. It's gonna help us out. We're gonna try to get to you every week with whatever's going on in sports. So keep tuning in. Thank you. Till next week.
Peace out. Till next week. Peace.